Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Seth. In today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be reviewing / recapping the TV series Euphoria and their new season, Season 3, Episode 1. Now, since I am going to be recapping the first episode of the Season 3, there will be some spoilers. I am going to be talking about what happened and my predictions, I think, for what this season will all be talking about. So if you've not seen the first episode or do not want any spoilers, click off the video, but if you don't care, stay for the video and let's talk about it. Now, last time we got a Euphoria season was in 2022, and it is now 2026, so about 4-year age gap. But they use it to their advantage with this new season. In the last season, they were all high schoolers. Now with this season, they're adults and they're in the workforce. But we still get the main characters. Like Zendaya is still Rue, Cassie, Sydney Sweeney is still Cassie, Jacob Elordi is still Nate, Lexa Demi is still Maddie, Hunter Schafer is still Jules, and we still get minor characters that were in the previous seasons, like Colman Domingo is still Ollie in this, Chloe Cherry is still Faye, and so many more. Now, as I say, all of them now are in the workforce. Like, Rue is a drug muler that works for Elizabeth. She goes to Mexico, gets the product, she tries to find a way to bring it back to the States, and gives it back to Elizabeth. Lexi is a production assistant. She gets the coffees for the writers and helps out with the production and the set. Maddie is a manager / agent for a lot of famous people like actors, social media influencers, and she manages that in a talented agency. Now, through this episode, you do get to see that since Lexi and Maddie are both in the entertainment industry, you do get to see that they do get to see each other around and talk even a little bit. Now, Nate took over his father's construction company and is trying to plant his feet and get it up and working to be more successful, but he's having a little bit of a trouble doing that. Now, Nate and Cassie are engaged in this season, and Cassie really is a stay-at-home fiance, and that's what Nate wants her to be, but Cassie has other plans. She wants to be known and famous, so she does social media influencing and even wants to start making some more money, so she wants to become an accountant, if you catch my drift on what I'm saying on that. And throughout this episode, Nate and Cassie will go back and forth on it. Cassie wanting to be an accountant, Nate not wanting her to be an accountant, but they are planning for a wedding, and Cassie really wants to go all out for this wedding. So to get the funds, she kind of says, if I can do this accounting, I can pay for my things that I want on this wedding. But Nate really doesn't want her to do that because of the incomplete notion of what accounting is, if you're catching my drift. But Cassie uses Nate's insecurities to get an advantage on her most likely becoming an accountant. Also, Jules is not in the first episode, but they do talk about what she is doing in her life. She is a sugar baby. Now, at the end of the episode, they do show a small clip of what the season is going to be all showing and entailing, and you will be seeing Jules later on in the episode, just not in the first episode. Now that we've talked all about that and stuff, I think this is what is going to be, I think, the main point of this season. I think the main point is going to be Rue trying to get a closer relationship to God and all that. Now, Rue had made some mistakes and went with some shady people when she was in the previous seasons in her teenage years, and she's trying to rewrite that. She says in this new episode that she really does not want to be a drug muler for Elizabeth, she wants to have her own life and stuff. And when she was doing one of her drug mules, she stays with this family that's very off the grid. They don't have any internet, they have their own farm, and they make their own food, and have cows and all that. And she just thought that was so awesome and stuff like that. And really she keeps thinking about that family and thinking, I just want to get closer to a relationship with God. So I think that is going to be the main point of this season. Now on to predictions of what I think this whole season is going to be about, and some of the other episodes. In that small clip, they do show what all the season is going to be telling, as I've said. Now, it's looking like a lot of the characters are going to be possibly seeing each other through this season, and I think how they're going to be seeing each other is, I think one of the main events of this season is going to be Nate and Cassie's wedding, where a lot of the main characters, Jules, Lexi, Rue, possibly even Maddie, are going to be at Nate and Cassie's wedding. And I think these are just my opinions and predictions of what I think will happen, but I think a lot of their secrets or something very bad is going to happen at that wedding. That's going to be in total chaos. Because you can kind of see a little bit in the clips of what it will show of the season. There's going to be something that happens at that wedding that's going to be crazy. Also too, we do get to see that Cassie and Maddie are going to be rekindling, I wouldn't say their friendship, but they are going to be talking. It's looking like Maddie is going to be managing Cassie into more of a social media role and an account, and for all what Cassie's wanting to do, and stuff. Now, this is just my shooting out of the dark, really, and just predicting what I think will happen. I could be totally wrong, so don't take it with face value. Take it for a grain of salt is what I'm trying to say. I think at the end of this season, Rue will not make it out of this. I just have a feeling and a gut that that's going to happen. I could be completely wrong, but I think that's just my prediction on that. I think Maddie is going to ruin a little bit more of Cassie's life since what happened in the previous seasons. Also too, we will get to see Jules and what her sugar baby life will be like that. Maybe even too, Jules and Rue will rekindle their friendship and stuff. But yeah, I think that's all what's going to happen in season 3. I am going to be trying to keep up with these and posting these episode reviews and stuff. So yeah, that was my recap of the first episode, and a predictions of what I think the rest of the season will be. Thank you for watching as always. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.